Greg Collins. I am a security architect. I like to think that my role is to secure financial services organisations, which is what it has been for the last couple of years. Primarily, my magnetic north is network security. That's where I come from. But I've also got lots of other security experience, and I'm just finishing a 3-year journey to build a new bank called Aleka. I'm moving on to a new challenge, and it's been a wonderful experience taking a concept, a bank that didn't exist before, to a fully operational bank in Azure. A day-to-day basis can vary so much. We all, if you've worked in infosec or IT security, you know that you can be painting one day and doing electrics the next day. It's so varied. So to give you an example, what this week has been about. Today, there's been a new vulnerability on Macs. So we're working out how we can get to the bottom of scanning the Macs, finding out what the vulnerability is, and getting patches pushed out. We're also looking at some API security where the banking application is being upgraded and changing the way it works. So we have to make sure that the API security is there. But primarily what I've been working on this week and what I do on a day-to-day basis is I've been working on containers. So that's Kubernetes and Palo Alto container firewalls in Kubernetes and configuring AKS clusters in Azure. But it's very varied. I'm doing this at the moment, but I could be doing something different. I'll react to as and when I need to, depending on what the bank needs. Your natural instinct should be get up in the morning and do the best for your company that you can. Where I am in my career and with my experience, I specialize in IT security. That's my thing, information security and IT security. So how I add value is to take the knowledge that I have and then to go above and beyond, to live and breathe it. That's what I want to do. If you employ me, you get 100%. I am going to do the best to secure your organization, and that's what we should all be aiming for. No matter whether you get on with your organization or whether you get on with the people, what matters is you're getting paid to do a job, and you go on and you do the best job you can for that particular engagement. What I love about my job is technology is a command line. I love nothing better than to say, right, this is what you've got to deliver. This is the infrastructure or whatever you've got to learn to do it. How are you going to deliver this securely? So you've got to look what we do in a job. The difference with working in IT security is you need a holistic view. You need to understand all the moving parts. So you get one particular piece of focus that you've got to apply. So you've got to build an environment or a set of security tools to do something, but you need to be aware of the whole picture. You need to be aware of the whole thing. And that's what I love. It really gets me up in the morning. That's the sort of stuff I love. Writing policies, a bit dull, to be honest. Some of the other information security stuff is a bit dull, but actually getting stuff in delivered securely, that there's nothing better. You can't beat it. I've got loads and loads of certifications. I spent a long period. I spent a period where I decided that I was going to get as many certs as I could in a short space of time. So I don't want to go through them all, but the ones that matter, if you're in IT and you want to do IT security, and at the end of the day, it's about getting employed. It's the CISSP, and the CISSP is described as an inch deep and 3 miles wide. That's what it is. If you were going to describe it as a lake, it's so broad, but the fundamentals that you'll pick up in there, you'll use all the way through. What other certifications? I hold multiple Cisco certifications because I've worked on Cisco for so long. I hold multiple forensic and hacking certifications. I'd never class myself as a penetration tester because I don't write exploits, but all of those certifications help in what you do. It just gives you another level of knowledge. So that's generally it. I'm there. I am at Nirvana. I am exactly where I want to be. So I don't want to, I have no real management ambition. It's not really been my thing. What do I want to progress as? It's technical progression. There's a new generation of young IT people coming through, are doing things in a different way, seeing things in a different way. It's evolving. What the real achievement is, and the progression is to keep up with the evolution. And the evolution is really in the world of containerization, cloud computing, SaaS and PaaS, and infrastructure as code, all of those things, CI/CD and DevOps is where we all need to be turning, because that's the way all these things are turning. So that's what progression is for me, just keeping up with that. My least favorite part is Teams at the moment, because since COVID, your day can be filled up with 8 Teams meetings where you don't actually get to do any work. And I class my actually doing the work is getting stuff in, getting it done, getting it secured. So probably Teams at the moment and multiple meetings is a real bugbear for me. And in the nicest possible way, information security documentation is as dull as paint, but it needs doing. So they're my bugbears. Oh, what I've been using on a daily basis is, let's have a think. So I do a lot of work at the moment with Palos. So Palo Altos with the containerization. I'm in Palos all the time. A few OSINT tools I'm looking at. I use Tenable every day. I use Elastic, so I'm doing a lot of work in Elastic and the Elastic scene to pull stuff out of logs. So many different things. I work with a product called Orpheus, which is quite cool to do with threat detection. But mainly it's a command line for me. My tool is a command line and Linux or a firewall. Foundational knowledge, which is probably, depending on when you do IT security, there's really there's 3 streams, shall we say. There's technical IT security, there's application security, and there's information security. The fundamental thing that I would say to anyone who's getting involved in either of the 3 is TCP/IP. You need to know TCP/IP, and a common misconception of TCP/IP is it's subnetting. It's not. It is the whole suite and the whole glue that hangs the internet together. So I would say that's the one. That's the one to get. Understand your TCP/IP, and it will all fall into place. And soft skills do you use on a daily basis? You can have all the soft skills in the world. The one is communication. That's the one you've got to do. You've got to learn to talk to people. You've got to learn to understand what's in other people's heads, so you can understand what you're trying to convey to them. So it's the biggest and most important skills is non-confrontational communication skills. I was thinking there's two things I was thinking of this, and probably the one I'd pick out. I'm going to mention 2, but the first one I'd mention is to build a bank. So a conceptualized bank with no Azure knowledge. I had 3 years ago, I was a complete cloud. I didn't know about cloud. I had to learn the whole lot, and I had to build a bank, and that was a fantastic challenge. But I'll let you know what actually the most tactical challenge I faced. So I was training. I got loads of messages on my phone to say the entire system had gone down. It was on a Friday evening. So as opposed to having it hang over me, I headed into the office about 8:30 at night and noticed that the door had been getting kicked into the server room, and someone had emptied a Cisco 6509 chassis of all the blades. So all the fiber blades, all the copper blades have all been nicked. So I'm standing there on a Friday evening at 9 o'clock thinking, what do I do now? And how do I get a business operational from Monday morning? Now, what I've done is I had some old SUPI 1A blades. The old Cisco heads will know what they are. And some old fiber blades and some old 10100 blades for a 6509 locked in a cabinet. So I had to re-splice so many things, rerun patches because they cut all the patches, reprogram the switch to get everything up and running by the Sunday afternoon. So that one, I would almost dislocate my own shoulder patting myself on the back because that was a win.